A very warm welcome to Tech Mining. Cost and revenue centers help you maintain accounts of all departments and divisions participating in your business. Using this setup, you keep track of revenues generated by departments and expenses incurred by them. After creating cost centers, you can link them to the main financial accounts in the chart of accounts. This allows you to set a default cost and revenue center for every financial account. When you pick up an account from the chart of accounts during the voucher generation process, these cost and revenue centers come along as default entries to minimize data entry work. Create an interactive report page and include form page to it. After creation, modify the report page. 13. To alter the default SQL statement. A where clause is added to the default SQL query, which fetches the current company's cost centers. Download source code from video description. Open source code, part 11 folder. Copy and paste code from SQL query 11.1.txt file. Remove the default process form cost centers form, from page 14. Along with the create and apply changes buttons. You'll create custom process and add a new button to handle these operations. On page 14, modify the delete button, which was created by the wizard. You use a JavaScript function to present a confirmation box before deleting a record. Copy and paste code from JavaScript 11.3.txt file. Note that the visibility of this button and the corresponding delete process is controlled by a condition set on this page, which states that this button will be visible only when the P14_row ID page item is not null, in other words, when the record is fetched from page 13 for modification. You also disable the default database action, SQL delete action, because you handle this process manually. Add a new button to page 14 to handle new and amended records. Create a new hidden page item named P14_row ID. Modify page 14 items. The dynamic action created in this step will be created on page 14 to calculate a level for each cost center account. Note that this setup comprises two levels. The first level, which denotes locations, is 2 digits long, while the second one, which represents departments or divisions, carries 5 digits. The first 2 digits in the second level represent its parent level. Copy and paste code from evaluate_level.txt file. Next, create a validation which will check whether the value of the account level is 0. Note that the valid values for this item are 1 and 2 only. The dynamic action created in the previous step will calculate this value automatically. Create a validation to check the parent level of an account. To implement application integrity, you are not allowed to create an account without a parent. For example, in the current setup, a department cannot be created without first creating a location. Copy and paste PL SQL code from check parent level.txt file. Duplicate cost center code is eliminated by the table constraint, GL_cost center_PK primary key, company code cost center code. Just like you checked for the existence of the parent level while creating a new child account, the validation created in this step will check for the existence of a child account before deleting a parent level account. Copy and paste PL SQL code from check child level.txt file. An account used even in a single transaction must not be deleted. Create another validation, which is added for this purpose. Note that in this application you will use the last level, in other words, level 2, in your transactions to allocate cost centers. Copy and paste PL SQL code from check in transaction.txt file. Cost centers are rendered in a text item that an end user can easily modify. This validation will prevent the code from being modified in order to retain application consistency. Copy and paste PL SQL code from disallow code modification.txt file. The condition set for this validation checks for a value in the hidden page item, P14_row ID. A non-null value in this item indicates that a record exists on the page with its code. Create a process. The process being created in this step is the one that will save a cost center record. Note that this process will handle both new and updated cost centers. Copy and paste PL SQL code from saverecord.txt file. Create another process. This process will delete a cost center record after passing all validations. Copy and paste the code from PL SQL code 11.13.txt file. Remove the Create and Save button values from the request specified in the Close dialog process to generate continuous cost center records. In the Processing tab, click the Close dialog process, scroll down to the Condition section in the Properties editor, and remove the Create and Save entries from the value list. By removing the Create and Save entries, the dialog page will be closed only when the Delete button is clicked. On page 13, create a button to refresh the Cost Centers report. After saving your work, it's time to create cost centers in the application. Run the module from the Setup Cost Centers menu. Click Create on page 13. You may see some errors. Execute the following steps to deal with these errors. Enter 01 in cost center code and enter head office in cost center title. Click the Save button. One error has occurred. You've defined an invalid cost center code. You've defined an invalid cost center code or level. Please press Tab in Cost Center Level text field and click Save. This will add a new Cost Center Level 1 record. Click the Refresh button. Now change the column headings of Report page 13. Create a new record by entering 01001 for cost center code and enter admin for cost center title. Click Level, press Tab. Click Save button. This will create the admin department under the head office location. Note that the levels for both these accounts are assessed automatically by the dynamic action created in the video. You will notice in the code field that all the values are displaying 1. Sign out. Log in again. Open Cost Centers Setup. Now this field is displaying the correct values stored in GL Cost Centers table. Now align the position of Create and Refresh buttons. This red color banner should not display on form pages. Open the global page 0. Create the remaining cost centers, using the costcenters.xls file, in the source code, part 11 folder. The last entry, 09, not applicable, in the XLS file will be used for all financial accounts in the chart of accounts, where cost centers are inapplicable. The cost center is a handy setup for organizations that want to keep track of income and expenses. In the next video, you will create the heart of financial accounting called the chart of accounts. Thank you for watching the video.